I guess no matter for yeah, it's just basically sound that we're getting. So now you're not the only one on camera. I'm in there a little bit.
Okay, so just state your name again and spell it so I know.
Alright, Willie and Cookston, Igou. Go by Cookston. It's trying to start looking at the camera like we're doing an interview again. W-C-O-O-K-S-T-O-N, Igou, I-G-O-U. And I'm Willie Hogan, W-I-L-L-I-E-H-O-G-A-N.
And just kind of tell me how y'all met and how this got started.
We were childhood friends. We lived down the street, and him and his siblings, his two sisters, and him would come down to my house, and I'd go to their house and hang out quite a bit after school and stuff like that. That was like in middle school and stuff, and we've seen each other here and there throughout the years.
Elementary for me, middle for him.
Yeah. Well, I started working at Applebee's. I was actually looking for a job about 3 years ago, and I've done web design myself for a long time, but to this particular question, I met him at Applebee's. I actually was walking through the mall, and I was like, I'm not looking for a job. He's like, hey, come over and apply here. And we both started working at Applebee's and hanging out again after that. And he, out of everybody I knew, I started telling him about what I was doing, and he just kind of jumped on board from there.
Yeah, he was like, well, I'm doing this. I need a little bit of help getting content and stuff. But I was like, well, what kind of content do you need? And then I kind of was like, wait a minute. Good content, what do people like? Not a lot of people like to read, people like to watch things. So, video interviews, how's that sound? And he was like, yeah, that's such a great idea. Then I just kind of took it from there.
He was also working with a couple of guys, Aaron and...
Yeah, I was doing video with a couple of other people, Aaron Nifong and Alan Stamey, the second. Basically, they brought me on board, and they were like, well, we need an extra person for the Men Who Ride with Alan, which was this comedy thing that we did that was hilarious. And
short-lived, but I really was
very short-lived. The only video we actually did with me, and it never went live, and I played somebody who got run over by Aaron. So we made this fake blood, and there was a pool of blood around me, and I was sitting there laying in this blood, and it looked like I was run over on camera. And quite comical, actually, because Alan was like, you ran over a man in his own driveway. And Aaron was like, he was a strong man. It was hilarious, and I wish it would have gone live, but it never did, and they never really ran with anything, so it died.
Well, what inspired you to do specifically like Chattsounds and wanting to do music?
To me, the Chattsounds is basically a way of connecting all of my hobbies and passions. Ever since I was young, I loved puzzles, games, arts, things like that, and it grew into music more and more over the years. Through my teenage years, music was my go-to for everything. It was my happy place. It was my expression. Music was just one of my biggest passions growing up, and I met a lot of friends through the Chattanooga scene that way. A lot of great people, a lot of great friends, played with bands, things like that, and I always loved it. And that was early in my life. I mean, about 12, me and Ryan Starnes, who's actually in Southern Flyer now, would play a lot and hang out, and I made a lot of friends like that. They've gone on and do music and stuff. Well, I went more into web later on to do more art and coding and technical stuff that I like. That's where I kind of saw my career. My dad did a website called Nougat.com. He started it, which is a big website now in town, and he sold it and basically retired from it. But I kind of always wanted to follow in those footsteps of web design and media, and this is basically just a meeting point for that. I got involved with web design. I went to University of Phoenix to study web design for like 10 years, and it was really just a way. I wanted something. Years ago, I did Chattsounds music, and I just wanted something that I really enjoyed to do my content with while I was learning web design. And so it was basically just a kind of a trial thing. I could write about music all day, so there was my content. And then it was short-lived. Chattsounds music was about a year and a half long, and then I stopped doing it for financial reasons, work, and have always kind of wanted to go back to it. And really just a few years ago, I got out of school, I wanted to do web design, and on my downtime I'd start working on other projects, and I just kind of threw Chattsounds out there to see what would happen, and I got a lot of positive reviews. lot of people are like, I want to see more of this. So that's basically when I decided, okay, instead of just being, you know, a little project, I'm going to try to take this to another level. So it's really, to me, just a meeting place to kind of get all the things I like in my life, my friends, and the scenery in Chattanooga, the music and the web design. It's all just kind of bringing it together for me. It's something that I could do all day long and enjoy, basically.
For me, it was basically, I saw what he had going on. I really liked the way it looked and everything. I liked what he had, the flow of all of it. And he was just kind of like, I need a little bit of help getting content. And so for me, it's basically, I was helping a friend out with something that he enjoyed doing, and it's the love of the music. Because, like we've said, Chattanooga has a lot of good talent in town. I'm friends with a lot of them, but I never get to go out and see shows, and most of the time I don't want to go out and deal with the people. So for me, it really is the love of the music and helping a friend out.
When he first started, he really was doing it to help me out, but seeing him, personally seeing somebody get involved with the website, and him turn around to me all the time and going, well, I can't believe that show we just saw. I can't believe these artists like showed me that if somebody that he knew what he was getting into and is still impressed by everything he sees, lets me know we're doing the right thing.
Well, it's also when we do actually, okay, great example. Nothing in the Nobodies in Marlowe Drive put on a show. This was one of the last shows that I actually attended. We go there, we sit, front of the stage. I order me a couple of drinks, a Washington apple or two, and a beer. He gets a beer or two, and this dude walks up and sits down with us, and you're the guys from Chattsounds, aren't you? I'm Chip, and it was the lead singer of Marlowe Drive. And he sits down, he talks to us, we hit it off, you know, everything else. And that night, I had scheduled 2 interviews with both bands, one with both of each band, Marlowe Drive and Nothing in the Nobodies. And you can actually go online and see our Nothing in the Nobodies interview on the website. Marlowe Drive, we got to make another interview. But it's just really awesome to see all these musicians that just really want to be involved with what we've got going on. Plus, they're just a great sound.
Right.
And I love blues, I love rock, I love classical music. So to go out and see a band like Nothing in the Nobodies, it has very kind of a Primus-esque feel to it, and I love Les Claypool. And then see somebody like Marlowe Drive put on an awesome blues show. To me, that's just amazing.
So what are the goals you want from this, your ultimate vision for Chattsounds?
It's very similar to the thing with Igou Media is making great content and connecting great people, and that really is that. And the thing basically for Chattsounds is live and be heard, or live and be heard, I guess, depending on how you want to read it. And that tells us, what we're basically saying is, get out there, do what you want to do, and be seen. The main thing I want to do is take Chattanooga and art, and Chattanooga art in general, to another level. A lot of things we're doing right now is to get attention and to get things moving, but we have bigger ideas we want to do. We want, the one thing we really love about Chattsounds is the unlimited possibilities. And we want to be able to show artists that you can do just as good as LA and New York. You can have those major, big-time videos. You can get millions of views. And not only that, but you can do new types of art, with all the new media and everything, web design, video. It's unlimited what artists can do. And I don't want to say open eyes, because there is a lot of open-minded artists out there, but I want to show them that we can do something great here. And just show them what, with the station, with the website, that we all work together. We get this great video guy together. We get this great band together. We get this great director, some good actors. We can make anything. And really, I just want to, take the artists that want to take it to another level, give them a place to talk about what they want to do, give them a place to work together, and just help Chattanooga grow into its own style and really, really get out there and just open up possibilities for everybody. Take it to the next level. Personally, as a web designer, I feel like Chattanooga has always been behind, and that is ridiculous, because this is the perfect talent for web design. We have the central network that gets anywhere fast. We have low cost of living. We have untapped resources of talent. I mean, everything that, and I hate to say it, but I think a lot of major corporations in Chattanooga themselves, a lot of media don't realize what they have. And they could really make, money off the national market by working here in Chattanooga. And I want to show all these local bands that we can be Chattanooga and still make a great living just being in Chattanooga, being Chattanooga artists. You don't have to be a Chattanooga artist and then move to Nashville.
Right.
That's one of my biggest goals too. Give them a chance to people to realize you don't have to leave Chattanooga to be big.
Honestly, one of my goals with this is to get out of serving tables.
And that is one of our main business plans, is get him out of Applebee's. It's one of our big goals right
to
now.
where I can devote, instead of 2 days a week to this, and of course my nights where nobody's awake to talk to. But to get me in a position where I can do this 5 days a week, have 2 days of downtime where I can actually kick back and relax and unwind, and then jump back in it for another 5 days. But everything he said is really my goal, but at the same time, one of the things that I really love about what we're doing and the potential that it has and everything is I really want to see that unity that everybody's talking about that nobody's acting on.
Who or is your primary audience? Is it more of the artists, or is it just the general public, or is it a mix of?
Well, for right now, it really is people involved in the music scene, promoters, artists, venues. Even though that wasn't the general audience we were going for, it's mostly reaction because we're still building, we're still getting out there, we're still making networks. So it's a lot of word of mouth right now, and a lot of it is somebody going, hey, you play music, you should check out this website. Oh, you're a venue owner, check out this website, and that's where a lot of it is. And I'm fine with that. I'm completely fine. But we want to go for the more entertaining market, just the audience, the fans, and I want to appeal to that because the fans are artists too. I want to appeal to anybody that wants to be entertained and see something, people getting together in Chattanooga and hopefully, spark something in them. What about the guy that wants to be in a band and sees us and goes, that doesn't look too hard, so I'll record something, you're going to get it out there, okay, I'll do that. But yeah, right now it is a lot of the artists, but eventually I want to turn that more into fans and entertaining, and if people want to jump up and get involved, they can.
My target audience actually is the fans of the bands, because I do focus primarily on interviews and the networking and everything. My goal is to go out and find these bands and these musicians and solo artists and kind of be like, all right, here's your music. You've got a set following fan base. What can I do to widen that fan base for you? Let me do an interview with you. Let's put you on our website. Let's see how many people are going to actually start focusing on you and pay attention to what you're doing that you don't already have. So,
Was there anything that you want to touch on that I haven't asked anything about?
I would say the main parts of the website, the past couple of years while doing this, it was very touch and go, very sporadic, trial and error, all the horrible things you can imagine of starting a business. But these past few months, we've really found out what people are looking for, and we now know exactly what we offer. And I'd say, the main things is we have the forum and comments, interaction with the website. That's one thing we offer in general. Links and information for Chattanooga, venues, anything music related. And the live station is going to be a big deal. That's one thing. And I want to say profiles or something. Am I missing something? There's something else in there. The videos, a bunch of, the file videos and profiles and stuff. So really the live station, the links, and the forums and interaction is the three main things we offer people. And that's something that that calendar, that's what I was missing, the calendar and events. Those are the four main things we want to grow on constantly and grow more and more because people want that. They like the idea of the radio station, they like the idea of the calendar, because our calendar, even though it's not got anything on it right now, when we do it, it's very symptomatic, very easy to read, and we don't bombard it with every single thing that's happening in town. But those are the main things with the websites right now, and we're constantly trying to build on that. And the only other thing I would like to say about it is, of course we're unbiased, of course we're nothing. We hope we never intimidate people and not try to talk to us. If you're a band that are just now getting started, please contact us. We want to be the first person to talk about you, you know, instead of when you're already big and trying to fight to get in there, you know. But, you know, we're willing to work with anybody right now, you know, and that'll probably be true always. You know, we want to help people get out there and do what they want in life. It's a hard economy right now, and I think people can fix that. And if you can't find a job, I think in today's society, you can create your own work if you stay focused. And whether you're a web designer, a programmer, a writer, you know, or a business just wants some publicity, that's what we're here for, is to help you get out there. So we hope we never intimidate two people, go, you know, they're too busy or they're too big for us. That's never going to be true for us.
And a lot of what we do is a fan to musician to fan. How do we connect? For me, if it's a new band, they're just getting started, you don't have to have an album out. You don't have to have played a lot of shows for me to want to do an interview with you. So long as you've got a sound and you've got a few tracks and you're really wanting to kind of get out there and do something and market yourself, I want to sit down and have that interview with you. I want to be the first person to come to and talk to get that interview, because one of the beautiful things about the interviews is how many times have you sat down and listened to a band and thought, I actually might like to know a little bit more about these guys on a personal level so that I can connect with them and understand their music a little bit better. And for me, that's what the interviews do. They allow the fans to get to know the people they're going to go out and see. So that way when they do go out and see a show or something, they're like, those are some cool motherfuckers.
And they are. There's some great people out there. I mean, a lot of these people we interview are so freaking down to earth and so easy to talk to. It's unbelievable. But at the same time, they're great entertainers. They get up on stage, and some of them are completely different people when they're up on stage. So it's pretty entertaining when you get to know them on a personal level, I think. You know, we don't get as many views on the interviews as I would like. I know we would get more views if all we had was music videos and certain news reports and stuff. But like you said, it's vital information. It's something that we feel like, you know, if you like that band or not sure if you like them, you go watch an interview, you're going to know. Yeah, that's why I was growing up. I liked Green Day, 311, and Sublime, but I wanted until I read an article on them that I knew if I really liked them or not, you know.
And, you know, a great example of what he just said is, okay, you sit down and you do an interview with Maynard James Keenan from Tool, all right? He's a dick. He doesn't like being interviewed. He's just, you know, total disregard for the general public. But he's a musical genius, in my opinion. That being said, you sit down and you have an interview with him. He seems cocky, a little arrogant, pushy. You sit down and you have an interview with Les Claypool. He acts like he's your best friend. You know, people fall in love with the persona and his personality, and then they're like, this man's a wonderful person. What's his music sound like? They listen to his music, they're like, not only is a wonderful person, it comes across in his music. Mm-hmm. And the interviews kind of help the fans connect with the actual music that the musicians are producing. So that's really
my favorite example is Unsatisfied. When I
love that interview.
I only say this because it's a silver lining, but when I've heard of Unsatisfied on Chat Music years ago, and I liked some of their songs. Some of their music was alright, but for the most part it wasn't my style. But he always seemed like kind of like a jerk and kind of big-headed and, you know, Mr. Egotistical. So I was like, I don't really like that guy. You know, Eric, the lead singer, kind of seems like he'd just be a smart ass, somebody hard to deal with. And they took the time to sit down and sit with us, and they got so much love for the local music scene and everybody in it and all the support. I can't believe it, you know, that how great of a person. And I mean, honestly, we still have the one video up, right?
Yeah.
The pre-interview. For more than the fans, if you're a new band, that is one interview I would recommend anybody watching. Because his advice is golden for new bands. Like, they know, they've been there.
Speaking of which, I have talked to Eric last week. He wants to sit down and do another interview soon. So we got that.
A lot of times I thought they were, you know, maybe, you know, trying to get big or didn't make it, or, you know, or had these kind of problems, but they weren't aware of who they are or what kind of situation they're in. They're completely aware of who they are. They're basically fulfilling the role of being those egotistical rock stars of Chattanooga, because Chattanooga needs one.
Right.
And since nobody else is filling the space, that's what they're doing.
Right.
And they're completely aware of how they seem on stage and their ego, but they're like, hey, we're rock stars. They grew up watching Kiss and stuff like that, and that's what they want to do is be completely different people on stage.
And I'd like to add to that, it's a beautiful thing to see somebody who goes on stage and they seem like that dick rock star that everybody wants to be. People you will ever meet. It's like you are nothing like you personify yourself on stage. You are just really genuinely a good-hearted person who's just trying to help everybody. And it's really what they are.
Is there anything else you want to add? 'Cause that's pretty much.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
For the most part.
Yeah, we got some really good stuff. I think it'll be a good story. I've just got a lot of information that I didn't even know before from talking to y'all. So it's
Awesome.
it's a pretty beautiful thing in here. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. Unless y'all want to.
Well, if you can help us out in any way, there's first of all, we're always looking for more people to interview, more tracks. So I mean, you ever hear of any bands or anything, please let us know. We tell everybody that. But I actually want to make a page here fairly soon. That's basically what is Chattsounds, Chattanooga music website, and it's basically just a thing like that.
Just on your web.
Yeah, just on the web page. And to be honest, that goes back to SEO, trying to get us more noticed. And I feel like people still, even though everything's there on the website, they're not really reading between the lines to see who we really are. I think a page of more description like that
about
would be
me
good.
would be good.
I was actually going to
team.
say, if you're cool with it, and if you're cool with it, and if your teacher, Christina, is cool with it, I would like, after you get your grade and everything, to have the article you write. Put it
Oh,
on
I
the
can send it
webpage.
to you the second that I finish it. It won't matter.
Well, I didn't know if we publish it before you get your grade.
You want to turn that off before we're done?
Um,
Or,
okay.
oh,
But yeah, I
think you guys
can.
gotta get